Welcome to the Kinjaz Podcast. Here we will discuss dance, life, and whatever the we want.
Folks, welcome back to another episode of the Kinjaz Podcast, Movement in the Shadows. We are your hosts, Ben
and Anthony.
And we have, as always, a very, very special guest in the pod. Today we have viral chef and content creator. If you are like me during the pandemic watching food videos all day on TikTok or IG, you've probably seen her videos. We have the incredible Tway Nguyen, aka Twaydabae, in the podcast.
Hello,
Welcome, Tway.
hello. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for
Audience
being
applause,
here.
What an
Audience applause.
introduction, and thank you for my full name. I appreciate it.
You know what? I had to look that up. I'm like, I'm pretty sure her name isn't Twaydabae.
First name
Tway.
Tway, last name Dabae.
I was like,
dialect from Vietnam.
oh, is it? See,
Yeah.
then that would have been ignorant me. But yeah, I had to look it up, found it, and yeah, here it is.
There
Here
you
it is.
go.
You know,
Thank
to be honest, his show notes made me learn that your last name is Nguyen.
Really? You didn't know that?
I fucking put you in my phone as Dabae. Like,
I love it.
In the last name column, it's Dabae.
Yeah.
I left Dabae in just the first name category and just like no last name,
Okay.
you know, like Zendaya.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you
last
go.
name
There's
is-
Zendaya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we're learning
What
everything
is
right now.
Zendaya's last name?
No one
I really
knows.
don't know.
Nobody knows.
All right.
Aya? Zendaya?
First name
Aya?
Zen.
Zend Aya? Okay.
Yep.
Well, welcome, Tway. Thank you for coming on to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, let's as we always like to do, we like to start with some origin stories.
Stories.
However deep and far back you want to go, we'd love to hear, where you're from, where you grew up, and like the whole story,
The whole shebang.
the whole shebang, as you
Okay.
want to give it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an open book. I was born in Vietnam. I went to school there and everything. So first language was Vietnamese, and came over here when I was 8. So I was like in 3rd grade and didn't know a single word of English. Literally, they put me into school into school right away. So I had to like really adapt and just learn English as I went. And then where am I?
Where did you move? What was like the first city you moved to? In the States?
Oxnard.
Oxnard.
Yeah,
Okay.
do you know where that's at?
805.
Wow,
Yeah, come
you
on,
know.
come on, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
How you know?
I just know. I know. I'm from
You-
here, and
you
I
be
know.
knowing.
we didn't come here when we were 8.
Yeah,
You be
yeah,
knowing.
I know
Okay.
Oxnard folks. I know
Okay,
Oxnard
cool.
folks.
Oh
okay.
yeah, there's a lot of dancers in Oxnard.
There are actually.
Yes.
Yeah,
Anderson
yeah.
Paak from Oxnard?
Yes.
Yeah, is he from?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know he was
Isn't
from.
his album named Oxnard?
Yes.
He has an album, and then he also
There it
has.
is.
This is not about Anderson Paak. This is about Tway, though.
about Zendaya.
Yeah,
Exactly, Anthony.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my
okay.
God.
It's
So
about
yeah,
Sway Nguyen.
moved to Oxnard, went to school there, and then eventually moved to LA to go to culinary school.
Okay.
I didn't know that I was gonna go to culinary school though, because like throughout my whole high school career, I thought I was gonna become a nurse because that's what my mom wanted
It's
me
very
to become.
Asian,
I
yeah,
know,
yeah,
super
yeah,
Asian, like
yeah.
typical story. But then during senior year, as I was filling out the applications, I was just like, deep down inside me, I was like, I know I'm not gonna finish this shit. Can I cuss?
Yes, you
could
can.
do whatever
Okay.
you
I'm so
want.
glad that you asked though, because that makes it so much more fun.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. But yeah, like I was like, deep down, I was just like, I know I'm not gonna finish this. And I was like, I don't want to waste my money and I don't want to waste my time. I want to just do something that I really enjoy. And at the time, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But I was like, what do you actually really like to do? And I was like, I really love food. Like, genuinely, I had a curiosity in food. Food really excited me. And I was like, but my mom never taught me how to cook. So I didn't know how to cook. So I was like, I might just go to culinary school to learn how to cook, to work with food, and to really like involve myself into the food world. And so went to culinary school. It's very expensive. So I mean, my parents didn't support me. They're just like,
Like, what's expensive? How much is it
oh
expensive?
my God, 25 grand a year, bro.
Damn.
You in 4 years?
4 years.
Damn.
Yes.
And you're debt free?
Yes.
Damn, that's even more
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was really expensive, and my parents did not support me because they were like, if you're gonna go to culinary school, you're gonna do that shit yourself. So I was like,
Wow.
you know what?
So
Bet.
were you working and going to school at the same time?
I wasn't working at all. Like I was sleeping in my car, showering at the gym, like just trying to like I guess get through. I was literally I remember I remember buying like a panda plate for a whole day and portioning it out throughout the day
Wow.
just so I
Okay.
could like
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah.
Because like in culinary school, like
Well, you like 4 feet tall. That'll last like a week, though, right?
like in culinary school you can't like take food home. So like yes, I could eat there, but it was like you don't go into the kitchen every day. Like there's actual like sit down classrooms that you have to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I remember doing all that stuff, and then at that time I was just trying to figure out how to like just get money. So I actually did a lot of like background work and like music videos, and yeah.
You was in music video.
I was in music videos. I worked on like a Nick Jonas music video. I worked on like a bunch of random ass music videos, but that's because like they were just paying like it was like $100 a day, but that was like enough to get me by.
I know I did that. But back in my day, it was $60 for an 8-hour day.
Yeah, so
for
I
me,
did like
I'm
background
talking
work.
about the 1800s.
Yeah,
Though.
the 1800s.
The 1800s.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I did that, and then eventually I started to get into like YouTube. That's how I was like, okay, well, people can get paid to do this. So then I was like, what can I do on YouTube that I can like be really good at? And at the time I was still kind of insecure about I guess sharing that I know how to cook with the world, because I was still in school. So I was like, I don't know everything yet. I don't want to show people that I know stuff because I don't know everything. So I was like still insecure about it. So all I really did was like eat. I just ate on camera. I did mukbangs.
Okay, yeah.
For the
yeah.
longest
Okay.
time. Like that's how like I like kind of grew my following. And then eventually that got me a Super Bowl commercial. And that just
From mukbang to Super Bowl commercial.
Yes.
That's pretty
We're doing
sick.
Yes.
it wrong the whole
I
time.
know.
man.
What
I
are
don't
we
even know
doing?
why we
We're
made
working
noodles.
way
They
too
just
hard,
ate
bro.
noodles.
that
That's
Super
what
Bowl
I'm
commercial
saying.
was insane. Like I like the producer called me and I thought it was just gonna be like a brand deal at first, like, oh, just post this on your YouTube channel, whatever. But she got on the phone with me and she was like, hey, so like for the commercial, it's gonna be for the Super Bowl. And I was like, wait, what? A Super Bowl commercial? I was like, no way. And then when I got there, I saw like the list of names that was gonna be in that commercial. It was like Megan Thee Stallion, T-Pain, like all these fucking people.
What was
And
the commercial? Or what
it
was
was for
the...
Sabra hummus.
Okay, yeah. I love that
Yes.
hummus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Shout out Sabra. Feel free to
shout
sponsor
out to
the pod.
Sabra. Yeah, like it was actually really insane. And after that, it blew me up. But then not a lot of people actually knew that I cooked. And it wasn't until the pandemic when I actually first started to cook on camera, and people were like, oh, you know how to cook. And I was like, yeah, I actually went to culinary school for this shit. Like
Wow,
I know,
yeah,
I kind of
yeah.
know some. And then so from my cooking videos, I just realized like I can take this shit in person. So then I started doing pop-ups and feeding people outside of social media, because up until that point, people were just like, oh, she's just a girl that cooks on social media. But now I'm actually feeding people in real life, and I'm still doing that right now.
That's amazing.
And then now we're
Oh,
here.
Yeah, now we're here.
Now we're here.
So when you're talking about while you were in school, you're talking about sleeping out of your car, and
Yeah, that's a real hustle.
that
right there.
that sounds pretty extreme. And I get it. We're all Asian over here, so like, when you don't get the parent support, at least for me, as a dancer, my mom just didn't come to any of my dance events,
Mhm.
but she didn't, I'm not saying I don't know what the story is
No,
of
same.
you like getting. Did you get kicked out of the house or like?
Oh, I got kicked out of the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that sounds pretty extreme, and it sounds like that could be very like demoralizing, and you could be like, man, maybe I'm making the wrong choice and the wrong
was it
decision.
like kicked out of the house because of your choice to go to culinary school? So it wasn't even like you're gonna support. It was like literally
It was like
you won't support yourself.
Exactly.
Wow.
Like you're gonna support yourself. It wasn't demoralizing at all because it was something that I really wanted to do. Like I deep down
That's a strong drive.
Like I deep down was like, because for me on the inside, I've always been like, is this a yes or a no? If it's a yes, I'm full send. Go for it. Do it. This is what you want to do. Go.
Mm.
Yeah.
Can I ask what your parents do?
My mom, well, at the time, my parents both did nails.
Nails.
Yeah.
Both your parents did nails.
Both of my parents, but now my mom still does nails, and my dad has a marijuana farm in Oklahoma.
God damn.
Whoa,
That's some interesting shit. I'm sitting here the whole time. Okay.
That's a left field for me. Yeah.
How's your relationship with your parents now?
Oh, it's good. It's great.
Is it because
like they still don't really know what I do, but as long as I like can support them in like paying rent or paying whatever that they need to get paid, they're good.
So you're kind of like proving to them that you're doing well with what you're doing. So that's why they're getting.
Like
that sounds like
everything-
some regular Vietnamese shit.
exactly.
They don't
Like
even actually care. They're just like, you send me money, fuck
like,
it.
keep it
yeah,
coming.
like everything
Keep
that
doing
has
it.
happened in my career, they don't give a fuck about. When I show my mom the Super Bowl commercial, she says, "That's it," and I was like, "Ouch."
But does she brag to her friends though behind your back?
I don't know. I
You
don't know,
what I mean?
bro. I don't
that's
know.
that's some regular Vietnamese stuff. That's what I know. My mom will never in my face say it to me. But
I genuinely do not know. But like everything that has happened to me from like the pop-up, like she went to my first ever pop-up, that shit was sold out, people everywhere, that there was a line. She was like, okay, cool. Your wings were a little salty. And I was like, fuck, bet, relax. But
you love your mom's food though, right?
I love
she's
my
a good
mom's
cook.
food. She's a great cook.
I remember you telling me that like about your mom's food being super bomb, but not necessarily being like I know like being able to teach you how to make it. It's more just like a you just smell it, you
know.
taste it, you just feel it type
yeah,
stuff.
you
right?
learn through tasting it.
Damn,
yeah.
that's some real shit right there.
So okay, like from mom's cooking to like culinary training, are you fusing kind of what you learned in school with like what you kind of instinctually like your gut sort of?
For sure, because like in school their training is more like, it's very much Americanized. Like they don't teach you how to use a wok. They don't really teach you how to use like any Asian cooking equipment. So then it's like I had to learn all that shit on my own. And like they even like on the days where we would like cook Asian food, I would be the person that they come to ask, like, does this taste right? And I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. I'm paying you
Right.
to learn this. Like,
Yeah.
excuse me? So it's just like, I also had to like come to my mom to like teach me like, oh, like this is the right way to do shit. And like ingredients wise and like what's good and what's not good.
Why was it that you didn't like connect with your mom on food prior to going to culinary school?
Because she didn't want me to be in the kitchen. She's like, she's the type of person that's like, nah, give me my space in the kitchen. And honestly, that's why I moved out, because during the pandemic, I actually lived with my mom for a bit. And then when my videos started picking up, I would start to film more and more. And she just got very upset at me every time I filmed, because it was like her space. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just move out. And then, yeah, I'm out.
That's wild.
And you're killing it. Damn.
Would you say that, I mean, obviously the pandemic did a whole lot of crazy stuff in a lot of people's lives, but it seemed like that was like a big turning point for your career, as well as like you making big decisions for yourself, like for your own life. So what was like that process of freaking the world is shutting down, I feel like I want to pursue this. Social media might be my avenue. Like, walk us through that whole
Honestly,
your whole pandemic
it
experience.
happened so quick. But before the pandemic, I was still like trying to be on social media. It just wasn't hitting the numbers that it's been hitting right now. But like I've just always been creating content. Like no matter where I went. Like before the pandemic, I went to Vietnam for a whole month and just created content throughout the whole month. So like everywhere I went, it's just always been like content. Like I'm not shy on camera. Like my mom has albums of me just like as a kid, just super like interested in the camera, just being very comfortable in front of the camera. So like I knew that like being on camera was like my shit. Like I wasn't shy. So like creating content has always just been something that I enjoy doing. And then when the pandemic started, I didn't have anything to do. Like I couldn't go to the restaurants to try food. I really couldn't like travel. So it's just like, well, I can cook, so let me do that. And then it just exploded.
Yeah. So I mean, I seen a handful of your videos, and like, I think for one, everyone connects over food, right? Because who doesn't eat? And I think for somebody like yourself who's pursued that as like their profession, right? And like, you know, this is your career path. Like, what is it about food, as opposed to even like nursing or whatever, that you're like, you know what, like this, I feel passionate about food. What is it? What is the thing that made you feel like I am going to just make this like I'm just going to go for it?
I think you learn a lot about people through food, no matter where you go in the world. Literally, if you eat something from someone's house, like that's a part of them that like you're taking in. And that's like the story that you're listening to. Like for me, even if you're making me packaged ramen, I can tell a lot by the way that you make your ramen.
Shout out Kinjaz Noodles. Thank you, Tway. Good transition right there.
Exactly. But yeah, like I think it's just such an interesting way to connect to people. Like, I mean, you connect through food every time. Like in Vietnam, when I was living there, we would sit down as a family, and every day there wouldn't be any day where we wouldn't sit down as a family and eat dinner. And that was like such a bonding moment. And when moving over here, my parents still kept that tradition. So it's just like food has just always been like that glue, and that like really brought me back to my roots. And then that's where I really started to take on that and like learn from other cultures and other people. Like when I'm out eating with my friends, or when I'm out eating, or when I go over to their house and eat with their family, you know, it's different. Like all these experiences surrounding food it's different. Yeah.
What's like the story, the signature, or like what you bring in terms of like your food? Like what makes your food Tway's food?
For me, it's like it's taking everything that I know, and like the way that I explain my food is like I'm honestly Vietnamese as fuck. I'm just like everything that I cook, I put fish sauce in that shit. Like it's just Vietnamese as fuck. So it's just like if I'm making eggs, there's gonna be fish sauce in it. Even if I'm making like American food, I'm gonna put fish sauce in that shit. Like, literally, like that's my flavors, right. And it's just like it's me taking what I know from my childhood and from the tasting my mom's food into like this new modern world of cooking. Yeah.
So I think like, you know, you're young. I mean, I just found out can I disclose your age?
Sure.
You're 23 years old. And we were just talking upstairs before we started rolling. Like, I mean, no disrespect to anybody out there that's 23 years old, but like I was once 23 and I wasn't on that kind of hustle. You know, I was just like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And sure, I'll try this out. Maybe I'll intern here, intern there. And like, it's this kind of discovery age that I think that I would consider, at least for me at 23. But for you at 23, you're so laser focused. And even like, you're like how you said, like you're very proud of your heritage and you know your culture and your roots. And I would think that like, you know, oh, you're in America, you know, you want to, it's easy to want to assimilate to what you think is acceptable, or like, oh well, this is what's popular, this is what works out here. Let me kind of fit in so I can kind of be a part of that. But I feel like you're introducing something that's very just uniquely what you believe in, something that's very much a close to home for you.
Yeah.
And you're backing that up with like a very fiery hustle.
It doesn't feel like you're trying to fit in. It feels like you're doing a good job standing out.
Oh,
you know
yeah. Not at all. Like in my head, when I first moved over here, every connection that I made was like, oh, that reminds me of this back home, or oh, you remind me of this person, my friend back home in Vietnam. It's always every time I tell a story, I'm just like, oh, when I was in Vietnam, when I was this and that. It was just always been like a connection to Vietnam. And I think the Vietnamese culture is cool as fuck. I don't know, like we've all had that lunchbox story of like people saying "ew" to your food and like, what the fuck is that? I've had that plenty of times, and I'm just like, this shit's good. I don't care what you say. Like,
hell yeah.
Like
You're right
it never
that.
hurt my feelings.
Right.
Like I've always just been very much like proud of where I came from, and I don't know, like that's why I like really love to introduce like the Vietnamese culture and the Vietnamese flavors to a broader audience. And I think, and like I try to say like Vietnamese words in my videos and try to teach people how to say it correctly. And it's just, I think it's cool to just like really involve yourself into the culture and like just be proud of it. Like that's where you came from. What?
I love this stuff. I love it. Just to speak to the layman's who maybe don't like fully understand like, you know, even like Vietnamese flavors of cuisine or stuff, like how would you characterize or define like what makes Vietnamese food?
Bold. Is very bold. I think it's just, I think it's bold in a way of like we just pave our own way. Like the French has a lot of influence, but we've taken that and like made it into like our own. So I think it's bold in flavors, but it's also bold in like story and history. Like for the longest time, we weren't allowed to even eat banh mi, like bread that was brought from the French, because they thought that we just weren't good enough to eat their food. And then when they left, we took something that we weren't allowed to have and turned it into something even better. And now it's known globally. So it's just like, it's like I said, it's bold in flavors and it's bold in history.
That's very well said. I love that.
Yeah.
You said you've done pop-ups or you at least did one pop-up, right? And like that, you know, you're taking your skills of what you studied, but then now you're like implementing business behind it. Like who gave you, or where do you feel like you learned like your business savvy, like knowing how to, like,
where'd you get the hustle?
Yeah, how'd you know how to figure that out?
Ray Hughes, my manager.
Okay.
Yeah. He reached out to me and he was like, he really sat me down and was like, what are you trying to do? And he was like, even if it scares you, tell me. And I told him, and he's been helping me throughout this whole process.
What did you say when you answered that one?
I said, I want to take over. I want to build an empire. I want to do it all. Like put me in the game, coach. Like I'm ready. Like just let me do it all. Like I'm not afraid to fail. I'm ready to fail, actually. So it's just like what I was like, I want to cook for people. I want to do some dope shit. I want to have a cookbook. I want to do all the things. Like it was just like a whole list. And like honestly, I'm pretty sure we've crossed off like more than half of what I said I wanted to do in less than like 2 years. So it's that's like the people that I have on my team, like they just believe in me, and and it makes me believe in myself. I mean, I believed in myself before, but this just is a different type of motivation when you have people on your side that really believes in you. So yeah,
that's amazing.
How do you put together your team? Like, are they people that are referred to you? Are they your friends?
Honestly, my team is my manager and then his team, but he has picked people that is just like really good at their job, you know, and it makes me want to be good at my job. Right. So it's like just that combination of just like people believing in you and people really, really good at their job. Yeah.
And so you're building your brand. I mean, I know the pandemic was like where you did a big push on like releasing, you know, videos of you cooking and things like that. You recently did a collaboration with Uprisers on apparel.
Wow,
can you talk a little bit about that?
That was fun.
I do my homework, man. I do my homework. Yeah. Well, how did that come about?
So I've always wanted to create merch, but I don't feel like I'm ready to like just come out with like merch on my own yet, because like, I mean, production wise and everything, it's a lot. And at the time I was doing a lot of shit. So I'm just like, how can I put out like a collection piece without like actually like diving deep into like production and being a part of every little thing? And Uprisers just was a brand that Ray had introduced. My manager introduced me to them, and it's owned by an Asian woman. They do a lot of like storytelling through their pieces. So I was like, this is perfect, because I didn't want to make merch to be cool. I didn't want to make merch to just like have merch. I wanted to make merch to tell a story. I wanted to make merch to like be impactful and well thought out. And they really walked me through like the whole process. They were like, okay, what story do you want to tell? Because you've got a lot of stories to tell, and we need to tie it all together. And so I have like a t-shirt where in the back it's a picture of Vũng Tàu, which is my hometown, and it just like explains like what it is, where it is. Because when I say Vũng Tàu, not a lot of people know. When I say Vietnam, they're like, oh yeah, I know Saigon, or like I know Hanoi, like the two top known cities in Vietnam. But it's like they don't know like the rest, you know. So it's just like, okay, like this is where it's at and stuff like that.
Shout out to Phangarang and Din Quang. That's where my parents are from. Holla holla.
There you go. Exactly. So I wanted to put that on there. I have a t-shirt that was like, how are you going to make fun of my language when you can only speak one?
I love that.
That one. I have a hoodie that has garlic noodles on it. And it has in the back, it has like a recipe of the garlic noodles, just like something fun, you know.
Yeah,
I have like some fish sauce socks. I think that's cool.
Fish sauce.
Fish socks.
Yeah.
Like just like something cool. Like I just wanted to make like
that bucket hat was fire though.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's my favorite too. Yeah. I mean, the whole collection, I'm super proud of it. Yeah.
You said something that you wanted to do was a cookbook.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we briefly talked before about you getting a book deal. Tell us about your book deal.
Let's go.
Yeah, so it's so crazy because I was like, I mean, I could just do a fun little cookbook. Like, it won't be anything big or anything. But a publisher, Simon & Schuster, they actually reached out to me and they're like, we love you. We want to work with you. And I was like, whoa, like, this is a legit, like, publisher. Like, this is crazy. Like, and the fact that they reached out to me without me having to like I literally didn't know where, like, I don't even have a book title. I didn't even submit like what my book was gonna look like to them yet, and they're just like, it doesn't matter, we want to sign you anyways. And I was like, wow,
that's freaking sick.
the fact that like a publishing house believed in me that much to sign me without me having any ideas of what I wanted to do yet is insane. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm here. Signed the deal, and I have a whole year to work on it.
That's fucking sick.
You know, incredible.
I think that's also why I really wanted to ask you to come out to the pod. You know what I mean? After all of our conversations on JK and stuff, because I felt like there was just something relatable with the way that we like understand and see stuff. I know that our own adventure within Kinjaz has always been like, you know, maybe it started with dance, but we always want to do other things. You know, like that's why we, you know, branched out and made our own merchandise. We built the studios, we did the competitions, you know, and as far as all the way down to the noodles, which maybe seems like almost like one step farther than you would actually think.
Yeah.
But I see similarities in like where you're taking your adventure. You know what I mean? It might seem to start in food, or maybe it starts from Vietnam, or maybe it starts in content. But at the end of the day, I think that there's like a clear understanding that you have this limitless capability to follow your curiosities and your passions, and you just want to do it, and nobody can stop you. You know what I mean? And I know what that fire feels like, but I see it in you, and I see it burn really, really well. So that's why it's so cool to have you here. Thank
you. Well, I'm glad that you like noticed that, because for me, it's like I'm in food, yes, but like honestly, I got that book deal because they're like, you're cool. You're just dope. Like we don't even want a cookbook like that. We don't want a cookbook. We want like a cool cookbook. So I'm like, I got you. They're like, we want.
I'm imagining this like 70-year-old white person like, we want it to be cool. There's this new word going around, swag.
Yeah, exactly. Make it swag.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they were like, we want to incorporate like your style. Like you love streetwear. You just ooze coolness. And I was like, oh, thank you that you noticed. I don't know how I should take this coming from somebody that's
yeah.
You know, so it's just like,
take it, girl, you're cool.
Yeah. And I'm just like, wow, thanks. And it's just like, but it's just always been me, you know. I've never was like, oh, let me copy this person, or let me see what this person's doing, and let me try to emulate that. Let me try to like I guess, be them. Like, it's just always been like, okay, what is it that you want to do? Like, what is it that like makes or fuel your fire?
So,
You
so
know?
are there people out there though that like inspire you, whether it be food or non-food related? Like, are there specific people out there where you're like, you know what, I want to not be like this person, but they really like, you know, get me motivated and stuff like that?
Yeah. My circle of friends, they're not in food at all, but every day they inspire me. They get it. We have the same mindset. We have the same heart. Yeah, we all look out for each other. We all inspire each other. But the one person that has really, really inspired me would be Anthony Bourdain. And like so when I first came over here, like I said, I didn't know a single word of English. I learned English through television, through watching like a lot of SpongeBob and Anthony Bourdain.
SpongeBob and Anthony Bourdain taught you English.
Yes,
good.
like
That's
I
amazing.
like it sounds hilarious, but
That's a
like
hot
that's
take right
true.
there.
That's
like
great.
what? That's so true. And I don't know, like I wasn't really interested in food like that. Like food wasn't like food to me. Food was just substance. Food was just something that like you had to do. But it wasn't until I watched his show, and there was one episode where he went to Vietnam and he
With Obama, right? Is that the one?
no, I mean he did go to Vietnam with Obama,
okay.
and yeah, but he went to Vietnam and he was the way that he was speaking about Vietnam, I was like, wow, why does this white man have more of a connection to where I came from than I did? Because like coming from Vietnam, like you just don't think about the culture like that. Like it's just an everyday life. Like you don't appreciate it like you should. And so from that moment on, I was like, that's honestly where like my curiosity in food came from, because he used food as a connection to the culture. And I was like, I love that because I can do that. I relate to that, you know? Yeah.
You know, like as I hear your story, you know, it just keeps. I have this image of the Trojan horse. The Trojan horse is like, you know, they this giant like, you know, essentially godlike statue, but essentially they're sneaking something in. They're sneaking something in. And I feel like that's what food is. It's like you can infiltrate, not in a sneaky or you know, with a malicious intent, but it's a way to kind of ease your way into a conversation.
Of course.
And
it's
it breaks barriers because
language.
everybody needs food, right?
Yeah.
Everybody eats. But then when you can kind of like, yo, let me teach you about my culture. And it's like through conversation, through like flavors that I'm like, whoa, I've never experienced it in this way. And I think that's kind of like the power of food, right? Like
You know the history of the Trojan horse, right? You know they go in there to kill them all, right?
School us, bro. School us.
They sneak them in there,
Sneak
just
the medicine.
kill them all, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And kill them with deliciousness. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think that's like the power of food, and even for us, like, you know, we're like, what business do we have like putting out noodles? But it allows us to have conversations with people who are now in the food industry. They're like, oh yeah, you guys have noodles? Like what? And then it's like now we're in that room now too. You know what I mean? And I think
it's just an experience.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like you get to try Kinjaz noodles. Like you eat it, you taste it, the flavors, you know?
But then it also tells you something about like, okay, so this is from you guys? Like who are you guys? Like
She said it needs to be a little more spicy.
I did
little bit more
tell
spicy.
him that.
It was
real.
spicy. It was spicier before, and then we toned it down.
It's gonna get spicier. Next iteration is gonna get
snap.
spicier.
How come you guys spice it down?
You know how it is in America.
You gotta
know,
make
like
it
more people.
make
you know,
it
this white people
accessible
spicy,
to
you
the
know what I'm
masses,
saying?
right? See, Tway, she's not into that. I
Well,
get
it's
it.
in
I get it. I
Costco,
wanted it
you know what I mean?
spicier
You
too.
can
I
talk all
actually
you
enjoyed
want.
the
It's in
spicier
Costco.
version.
We get there. I don't give a fuck.
But you know, something that I love that I'm like getting from you is that, you know, you talk about you know, they're like, oh, we want you. Like there's something about you. Like, yeah, the cookbook, but like make it you and make it cool. And I think that term, make it cool, like everybody's chasing after. Like, well, how do I make this cool, right? Like,
Yeah.
what is cool? And I think just even this is the first time I met you. It's the first time I'm having a conversation. What I'm getting from you is this: you are just very much unapologetically you.
Yes,
And-
being yourself is cool.
And I think that's not everyone's cup of tea. Like some people may look at you like, oh, like she's too this or too that. that's fine.
It's like
that's
she's too full of herself. But
Right.
it's like,
Were you
who
always
am I
like that?
supposed to be full of?
Did you feel like you were always like that, or did you like
Yes, 100%.
just out the gate?
Are your parents like that? Were your parents like very just like strong personalities? And do you feel like you got that from your parents, or was it just kind of something you feel like you just picked up
my
on your own?
mom. Like I said, I have like full on like just albums and albums of just like me being unapologetically me in front of the camera, and she captured that. She knew that. She breeded that. She like just put it into me that like that's just me, and like fuck whoever thinks that less of you. Like think more of yourself.
And then she kicked you out the house, or which one happened first? You know?
Exactly that.
Right. Do you feel like that lit of like an extra fire under you, like you not being welcomed in your own home, like, and being out on your own? Do you feel like that kind of accentuated like how you are?
Well, honestly, like when they kicked me out, I get it. It was like in the heat of things, and like we're all tigers in the house too, so it's just like
What
is this today? I know,
tigers,
I know.
man?
Yeah.
What?
No, we had Tim here earlier, and he was like, "Oh, I'm a tiger," and I was like, I'm a tiger. That's why we got tigers." Kinjaz is born in the year of the tiger. This is our 12-year anniversary as well.
Wow.
So we're just feeling lots of tigers right now. So when you say that, it's just very strong. We like that.
So I'm just in a house full of tigers.
Your
and it's
whole
just
family's
my
tigers?
whole family. The only person
What?
that's not is my younger sister, and she's a monkey, and she just has everybody wrapped around her fingers.
Monkeys, dude.
I know.
Oh, you monkeys.
I know. But yeah, house full of tigers, and it was
Okay.
just like, I don't know. It was just more so like they expected one thing, and then I didn't give it to them. But then like as soon as like they saw like that drive and that fire, they're just like, okay, like
I feel like that with Asian parents though. Maybe I'm looking into it because like I'm trying to be optimistic, but I feel like that's that shit in like 300, you know, in like Greece and Sparta, like Yugogi or whatever they call. It's like they're kicking you out of the house, but they're not like kicking you out of the house. They're kicking you out of the house like this is your test. I'm not gonna say it's your test because I don't want you to get hope.
yeah.
But that's part of the test
Like
to not have hope.
I never felt like I couldn't come back. But I was always like, bet I'ma show you.
Right.
Or like I'm not gonna come back until I can do this. Yeah,
Exactly.
for
Do you
sure.
feel like that was the motivator for you to succeed? Was like wanting to prove to your parents that you can make it on your own?
For sure. 100%.
Yeah.
And like up until now, I'm still trying to prove it to my mom. Like, Mom, I'm doing some really cool shit.
Yeah.
Give me some now. Give me some. Like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm gonna be on Chop soon. Like, I'm gonna be competing on
Let's
Chop.
go.
And like, I fucking hate competitions. I was just my manager brings me like all these competitions. I'm like, nah, that's not for me. Like, I don't do that shit. Like, I don't compete. I don't have nothing to prove. But the only reason why I said yes to Chopped is because my mom loves the show.
Oh,
That's so sick. It's like, Mom, turn on the
TV, watch this
231
shit.
right now.
Yeah.
So dope.
You know,
That's super
I
dope.
had this whole I had a year and a half. I remember vividly a year and a half where when I tried to make dance my career, every single time I went home, or even when I wasn't home, I would just get an earful from my mom all the time. It's just constantly like trying to just tell me and convince me to get out of dance. Is there something else you're gonna do? She's trying to link me with her friend's friend of friend of friend who knows some shit, who knows somebody, which was all bullshit, right? And then one time we're doing what was it? The LXD, Legion of Extraordinary Dancers, right? It was just a little get together thing with John and Chu. And we do the Macy's performance for Dancing with the Stars. And I'm wearing this Umbra outfit. So it's like, there's like 11 of us wearing the same thing. We're dancing with umbrellas. You can't even see me.
Aww.
Like, I can't even see me. I watch the video now. I can't find me. But just the idea that I was on like NBC changed everything for my mom.
Oh, wow.
And suddenly she starts bragging about me to all her friends. She never says it to my face, right? Brags about me and all this stuff. Always trying to be like, hey, you gonna be on TV again? When honestly it was like a one-time thing, except for the competitions. But like that's all it took. Like just some sort of understandable line or thread of like, as a immigrant, I get that. You're on TV. That's something I can relate to.
Yeah.
Anything else is bullshit. You know what I mean?
Honestly, my mom's different than my dad. My dad's always been so supportive of me. He's like my biggest fan. Literally ever since I was younger. He's just anything that I did, he's like, yes, that's her. That's my daughter right
That's
there.
dope.
Like that's
Yeah.
always been him. So I think like from his support and like just from my mom's I guess like instilling that what's it called, confidence in me.
Mhm.
It's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She gave you like the tough love. She gave you
Yeah.
the tough. He gave you the love.
Yeah,
you had
exactly.
to
I
love
feel
it.
like you probably get your toughness from your mom, and like and like the confidence from your dad, like to like, yo, you can do it, do whatever you want, and then you're
Yeah.
going for it.
Yeah,
That's
like the
dope.
way that my dad talks about me, he hypes me up so hard. Like I remember
That's
like
sick.
I remember even just like wearing retainers and like my teeth got straight for a little bit, and he was bragging to his friends, and his friends told me to like come and like show my teeth, and he was like, your teeth ain't even that straight.
Like, my
Like,
daughter got the
the-
straightest teeth in the game, man.
The way your dad be talking about you, I feel like this shit would be like perfect.
That's freaking tough.
Yeah, but like I was just
That's
like,
the funniest thing to brag about. My
he-
daughter's got the straightest
bro,
teeth.
he is my biggest
I love it.
biggest
Yeah,
hype man.
that's so dope.
Yeah.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy. I would do anything for my father's validation. I will cry right now thinking about my dad being
Yeah.
hyped
It's about to get real
Oh
deep
my
right
God,
now.
yeah, like, and like the way that he talks to me about his friends, he was like, oh, she does this and that, and I'm just like, wow, like he don't even got an Instagram, but he like made one just so he can keep up
That's
with
so
me.
tight.
That's
yeah.
And I'm
amazing.
like, wow,
That's tight.
I love it
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
That's so sick. That's Nina's mom for me. Nina's mom's my biggest fan.
She just
Aw.
like
She
knows.
knows everything about you. She knows everything about you.
Oh.
She knows everything about Kinjaz before
Dang,
like
that's
Nina
dope.
knows. It's crazy.
Wow, I
That's
love
so
that.
tight. That's so
Yeah,
tight.
I
I love
love
it, man.
that.
So what's next? I mean, you got a cookbook coming out. Is there a restaurant in the works? Like,
Yeah, you said you kind of did like more than half the list already in 2 years. Like,
Yeah,
what else is on that
crazy,
list that
fucking
you're
crazy,
going
right?
for?
Well, honestly, right now, a restaurant is not even on my radar.
Mm.
Great if it is. Like, great if it comes up, but like, it's not even on my radar because I'm so young and I'm doing all these pop-ups to honestly collect all the experiences. Like, I've had 4 pop-ups so far and every single one has been different. So I collect these experiences just to like choose and take what I like and what I don't like in when I do open up a restaurant. But right now, like my big goal, like 5-year goal, is to go back to Vietnam, open up a restaurant over there, just so my family over there so I can provide jobs for my family over there. That's my
Damn.
goal. Yeah.
Love it.
That cheers to that.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Let's cheers it up.
Cheers.
To that. We love to
My
cheers.
family in Vietnam ain't getting
Cheers.
none of my
Let's go.
money. Here you go. I'm kidding. Sort of.
Well, like they're not getting my money, but I'm gonna provide them jobs. Like they're
Yeah.
gonna work for it, you know. So,
That's
cause like my
amazing.
cousins are starting to have kids, and I'm just like realizing like y'all don't got nothing like to like really hold to like you guys together. Like
Yeah.
I want to provide that. Like I'm able to provide that. I know that I am.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do it.
Are you an only child?
No, I'm a
She
big
got a
sis.
sister, the
I'm
monkey,
Yeah.
Oh, the monkey. That's right.
I have a little sister. Yeah.
Okay.
that everyone's wrapped around her finger.
Yeah.
Oh,
What-
she has me wrapped around her fingers for sure.
okay.
How old is your sister?
She is a senior in high school now.
Oh, okay.
We're 6 years apart. So yeah.
Shout out monkey.
You guys are close though.
Yes.
Okay.
Like yeah.
Does she like look up to you? Is she trying to do
I'm-
the food thing?
No.
No.
I'm she don't think I'm cool, but she looks up to me for sure.
She don't think you're cool?
I don't know.
Yeah,
like
she does.
You
I
got a book
guarantee
deal,
you. I
dude.
guarantee you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask
she
her if
for
she has a
sure
book deal.
thinks cool.
like I don't know if she thinks I'm cool, but she definitely looks up to me, and I like honestly I'm doing everything that I can to just like provide her like with the life that with whatever she wants to do with her life. I want her to feel like she can do it with my support, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah.
You know what's dope? That like whether you don't know whether she looks up to you or not. Like one, I'll tell you right now, yes, she does, and she's watching you. She's watching like the road that you're taking because you're paving your own road, and I'm sure she's looking at that and like knowing with what you do, she knows. Okay, now this is possible for me.
Yeah.
Whether that's pursuing food or not, whether that's
Mhm.
her own thing, like she'll pursue whatever she pursues, but knowing that she can do whatever she wants because she knows that big sis was able to do
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
And I think honestly, I think that's probably one of the reasons where I'm not, why I'm not, I guess, fearless, or why I am fearless.
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm just like, I want to show her that like there's nothing to be scared of. Like I want to show her that like you literally can do whatever you want to do. We came over here for that reason.
Mm-hmm. So outside of like the hustle, because that's pretty clear. Like you're working your butt off every day. You just got back from Dubai,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like so you took some time for yourself. You took some time for yourself. Well, just speaking because we were curious about it upstairs because Anthony and I have never been to Dubai. What was like 3 of the coolest things that you experienced out there?
3 of the coolest things. Wow. I mean, first one was the food, of course.
Yeah.
Food was insane. Second one,
what's food like out there?
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
have no
so
idea.
naive about
it's like
what's out there.
Pakistani food, like kebabs, hummus, stuff like that.
Yep.
Curries.
Ooh, that sounds bomb.
Yeah, no, it's the local foods, incredible. We went to like a few high-end places too. That was life-changing. I had the best steak of my life over there at Namos in Dubai. Yeah, that was incredible. But I went over there because one of my manager's client is a race car driver, and she was competing in the 24-hour of Dubai. And we had the opportunity to be like in the pit watching like the whole thing go down. Like so it was like really, really cool. Like I got to ride like ATVs, ride camels, like did like all the Dubai teams.
All the Dubai teams.
All the Dubai teams.
All the stuff that I imagine happens in Dubai, you did that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Dubai was just like I said earlier, Dubai is sexy and rich. Like, it's just a big dick contest everywhere you look. Like, literally anything Vegas has, Dubai has that, but, like, probably 3 or 10 times bigger and better.
Got it.
Big dick contest. That just sounds funny always. That's never not going to sound funny.
I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah,
like, they just want to be the best of the best, and and they've achieved that.
And, you know, I mean, not to read too much into that, I feel like that's probably why you connected with it so hard, because that's you. You're trying to hustle as hard as you can for
you got
you
a
to
big dick, you know what I
Huge. Huge
That's
dick.
that BD energy, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, but like, you know, in balance of that, because of course, the hustle is clear and that's unquestionable with you, but how do you balance that with, like, you know, sort of kind of, are you introverted in any kind of way? How do you find like your balance and kind of, you know, re-energize and zen out? You know, what does that look like for you?
I think I'm an introvert.
Yeah.
AF. Like, yeah, I'm a very shy girl. Like in high school, I would eat lunch in my car, or like during senior year, I would just leave completely and not want to be at school because I was just like, I don't want to be around these people. I don't know what it is.
And
like,
you would go by yourself?
I would just go by myself. Like, I didn't ditch with friends. I just went home because I just didn't want to be at school.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like took a lot of classes freshman year, just so like during senior year, I only had 2 classes and I still did not show up. Yeah, I don't even know how I graduated, but I did, thank God. But yeah, like I think I'm an introvert at heart, and I can be very extroverted if like it's needed. Like if I'm on, I'm on, but if I'm off, I'm off. And I think it's through my daily routine. Like I have to have, like, it's a daily routine for me. Like I have built a routine to where I'm just grounded and where I'm zen to the point where I'm like, okay, game time, it's ready. When I get to work, I'm there to work, you know. Yeah.
I noticed that a lot of creatives they tend to be that way. Like whether you're an artist of whatever, you know, discipline, I find that a lot of people that they know how to turn it on when like the people are around, they're very outgoing and social and all that, but they need their time to like, okay, I need to get home and recharge because I'm exhausted now.
The bigger your dreams are, the harder your discipline has to be.
Like
that's why I have to incorporate my daily routine and I have to stick to it. That's why I have to write in my journal every day. That's why I have to have at least 10 minutes of meditation, of just quiet time every day. And if not, like I go crazy.
So speaking of that, so are there routine things that you do? So you journal, you meditate,
Mhm.
like
Yeah, go through your
what does
routine.
a day look like?
You wake up
So
and then what?
I wake up at 6 a.m.
Every day, wake up at 6.
I literally I wake up before my alarm. There's not a day that goes. Even this morning, I literally like came back from Dubai last night. This morning, I woke up.
You came back last night?
Yes.
Dang, thanks for coming on the pod. I honestly had no idea what your schedule was. I would have been way more considerate.
Nah, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Because I was like, oh, yeah, the 18th. I come back on the 17th. I can do that. I'll be here.
Dang, I
what's
like that
up.
hustle. There it is.
Literally
That's what's up.
woke up and got my ass to the gym. What?
Okay.
Like,
What?
I worked out.
Yeah.
Like
What?
it's normal.
Yeah.
You know, like I
Yeah.
have to do that. So I wake up, I go to the gym, have to go to the gym. And then I do, sometimes I'll make myself like a tea if I have time, but I gotta write down, like I just gotta journal how I feel. Like literally there's no prompt, there's no anything, but I do write like 3 things I'm grateful for. And then I just go and I write like 1 or 2 pages of just like how I feel, like just literally talking to myself. Like
What'd you write this morning in terms of what you're grateful for?
my experiences in Dubai, the people that I was with, and how I made it back alive.
That is a good thing to be grateful
Coming
for.
back alive is
Yo, you already know.
Good thing to be grateful
Come
for.
on now.
But yeah, like that was it. Like it's very simple. I literally could,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thankful to be alive every day. You just never know.
Yeah, absolutely.
You literally never know when you're gonna go. So yeah, just grateful to be here, happy to be here. Yeah, and then I just wrote about like how jet lagged I feel, but I'ma just like push it and like just move on with like my normal everyday thing and yeah, get to
Yeah.
work.
That's dope.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's dope. I love that.
What time do you wake up?
It depends on what I got the day.
See?
I'm not a 6 a.m. wake up before my alarm. I wake up when I need to wake up type of guy.
See, I used to be like that.
I want to be of that breed.
Okay, well, I can
I
tell
to be
you-
in the 5 a.m. club because I just hear all like the most successful people are kind of.
I can tell you
well,
that
not
you can
everybody,
do
but
it.
Yeah.
You can do it. Literally, you can. I used to be in the 5 a.m. club, and I used to be in the 5 a.m. club for like 3 months, and then I realized I was like, okay, like let's just slow it down. You can wake up at 6. Like you're good. You know.
I'm in the
Mhm.
7 a.m. club.
I mean, that's
7
pretty
a.m.
good too.
club, okay.
7 a.m. works for me as long as I get to bed around midnight or before. I used to always, especially Bangoria days, we used to always
yeah.
sleep like 3-4
Oh
a.m.
my god.
Can't do that shit.
Are you an
at
8-hour
all
guy?
anymore.
8-hour sleeper?
6 to 8. More
That's
on
good.
the 6 side.
Yeah, that's good.
I feel like I'm right in the 7
Yeah.
hour.
That's legit.
If I can get 8, that's like ooh.
If I can
did
get
it.
8, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm healthy.
Yeah.
But I
I-
never feel
I
like
try to
get 8.
prioritize 8 because that's like especially when you're active.
I just got an Aura ring. You ever seen that shit?
no.
I just ordered it. It hasn't even came in yet. It's an Aura ring. It tracks your sleep and shit. You wear it like all the time, and it literally tells. Because I have sleeping problems.
Oh yeah, I would be very curious to see.
What's your
what
sleeping
it tracks,
problems?
I have like sleep apnea and stuff. I like sound like I'm dying every night. I don't have regular breathing.
no.
I like will stop breathing and sound like I'm choking. All my friends, I didn't know until my friends would tell me because we'd be like
Oh, yeah.
traveling and teaching across the country and like they bunk you up in like little hotel rooms and stuff, and then next thing you know, your homie's looking at you in the morning like, "Hey man, are you all right?" And like Vane would be looking at me, he'd be like,
Yeah.
"I thought you died."
Oh my god.
And I'm like, "Dude, you're crazy." And then I'll like be in another country with Pat and be like, "Dude, I thought you died." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, this is consistent?"
I'm
That's
dead. That's
crazy.
funny.
No, I'm dead. Like, literally.
Thankfully not.
Wow.
What about you? How many hours you get in a night of sleep?
Probably 7 or 8.
7 or 8.
Yeah,
that's good. It's healthy,
Because my
yeah.
phone lets me know that I have to get ready for bed at 9, and that means I have an hour. So I have to be in bed by 10. And like my late
So
going to
basically,
bed.
it's almost your bedtime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like going to bed late would be like 11 or 11:30.
See, that's what I need to transition. I need to transition my sleeping time. like,
Yes,
when I go
that
to
would
bed.
that would make
Yeah.
your life easier, and that would definitely help with getting up earlier. Yeah.
we just like put like basic ass math together right now. It's like if you sleep earlier.
Wait a second.
You can wake up earlier. Holy shit.
Word.
But like
Mind
honestly, you can
blown.
also do a lot of things to help with your like sleep. Like you can put rain sounds. I like to do that. Yeah, like
I think there's a beautiful thing to like waking up early in the morning. Maybe in my own ecosystem, like knowing like a bunch of people that I normally like do work with and stuff like that, we don't usually get to it till like 10 a.m. or something like that, right? So when you're up at like 7, you have like your time to do things,
and it's quiet.
Yeah, and it's quiet, and it just feels randomly like 3 times more productive than like the rest of your productive day.
Exactly, because I'm like, I don't know, this is me when I'm like trying to be healthy or whatever. I'm super like green juice, salad, blah 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 in the morning, and then towards the end of the night I'm like hot Cheetos, pickles by the jar. Like it just goes downhill whenever it turns like 5 p.m. and I'm just like, I'm already here. It's already the end of the day. I'm gonna treat myself, you know? So it's kind of like that. Like if you have an early start to your day, you're like, okay, I'm gonna set myself up for a good day. And then like you don't really feel bad for like slacking off later on.
I totally believe that. I think, you know, there's that saying, you know, own the morning, own the day, right? So if you start your morning off in a way where you're like, I'm proud of how I started this day, and it kind of just sets you up like energy wise, even like, okay, I'm gonna finish out the day in the same way.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Which if you zoom out on a really, really macro level, it's kind of like what you're doing with your life. You know, you're putting in a really, really strong hustle right now, and like, you know, a really aggressive, strong push at a more formidable earlier time in your life in order to hit those hot Cheetos when we're a little bit older. You know what I'm saying? And
exactly.
Like that's really the hustle. Ain't nobody trying to retire at like 59 or whatever the fuck anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
like,
trying to retire by 30.
I
Damn.
can't do that anymore. Some of us can't do that.
What am I doing with my life over here?
No, maybe retire by 40, 50.
Like for me, I'm just like, why am I like, I have time. I have so much time, and like I'm doing all these things because I'm like, what's the worst that can happen? Literally, like what's if I do a pop-up, what's the worst that can happen? People don't show up. Okay.
Right.
And then what?
Right.
I adjust. You learn.
Yeah. You know, I think that's a very big strength that you have, because I think in this day and age, you know, no one wants to fail publicly. You know, we think that like, oh, if someone found out that like I didn't hit my numbers or you know, something that's gonna be, you know, impressive to the public, then it's like I'm done. But having that thick skin, and I learned this from like guys like Gary Vaynerchuk. He's like, the reason why the boos don't affect me is because even the praises don't affect me. I don't pay attention to the crowd. I just do what I do. And I get that from you. You have a very just strong sense of what matters to me is all that matters. Yeah. And it's not like it's a selfish thing per se, because I mean, obviously you say you're trying to put on for your family and all that, but it's what you hold true to your values and your core. That's all you care about. So if you feel like whatever, that's a lesson learned, right? Like now I get to do the next one, not doing the things that didn't work, and then take on some new things and keep trying it out. And I think that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah.
Do you have a failure of yours that comes to mind?
Do I have a failure of mine? I don't know. I don't really have nah.
Yeah, us neither, dude. Us neither, dude.
W's all day, bro. I love it.
So I'm ready to fail. I just never done it before.
No. But I think that the first pop-up that I did, the first pop-up, that was a big lesson, because it was just something that I was honestly very afraid. I showed up, but I was still really scared. And it was just, we didn't have enough employees. We didn't even have a pre-dinner meeting or anything with like the whole crew. Nobody communicated anything. Like it was a big failure. Back of house wise, and like front of house, a lot of shit was backed up. Literally, like we had two servers walk out on us because they were just so frustrated. And it was bad. Like it was very, very bad. But second day, it was flawless. Second day, like we learned from our lesson, we learned from our mistakes. Like we learned, and we made it into a flawless event, and like first day was definitely a failure in my book, in my eyes, but we learned from it, and that's it. Yeah, it still happened. It was still popping. Still showed up and still did my shit. So yeah.
That's dope that you could take like a day where you feel like, oh, things were a quote unquote failure, and then the next day is like, cool, we just learned from all that and we just kind of made up for that.
Yeah.
Right? So, as you are now at like the beginning, I would say, of your career, right? Like you're just getting started, already killing it. And I'm sure you have a ton more that you're trying to accomplish, right? As you've been talking about.
She's trying to retire by 30. She only got a little bit left.
You got a little bit of time left. So with that in mind,
Got 7 years left. I'm
got
good.
7 years, so
Anthony.
you got 7 years to be successful, and success is a very subjective term, right? Everyone defines it however they define it. What is your definition of success? How do you define success?
My definition of success is inner peace. Inner peace. Yeah, because like it, no matter how much money you have, no matter like what recognition you get, it's just like if you're not happy on the inside, you're gonna be miserable for the rest of your life. So inner peace has always been the goal, and that's why I've always listened to that voice on the inside saying, do you want to do this? If it's a yes, do it. If it's a no, don't. So inner peace has always been like the goal for me in everything that I have done.
I love that.
Yeah.
I that's great. I wouldn't have expected that to be your definition of it, but I think as you are talking about everything that you're so passionate about doing for your life, whether that's your career or your self-care, and you being true to yourself and being unapologetically yourself, that it all makes sense. Like it's because you, at the end of the day, you want to be able to look at yourself in the morning in the mirror and be like, hey, I like what I see. I'm about
Yep.
This is me genuinely, and I think
I want to
that
be
makes
proud
sense.
of myself.
Yeah.
I want to be happy about my decisions and about what I do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's amazing. I love it. What's next? What can we be on the lookout for? We hear there's a book deal and what's going on in the world of Tway?
Yeah, so there's a book deal. I'm about to be on Chopped.
Let's go.
I have a pop-up coming up with Madame Vo in New York City. So
Okay.
that's going to be my first pop-up outside of LA. And I don't know. That's pretty much it,
That's
I
it.
guess.
That's pretty sick.
That's what's on the table in front of you. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we like to finish our episodes with a fun little lightning round.
Okay.
So we're gonna
I'm
fire
ready.
off some questions, and you just gotta come with that lightning fast fashion.
Okay.
Lightning in 3, 2, 1. What is your go-to dish?
Fish sauce eggs with rice.
Ooh.
Crappiest food you ate recently.
Crappiest food. My friend made me this steak and it was so dry. It was
Okay.
I
Steak is not the
I
business.
ate it though because I felt bad. I kept asking him like, "Yo, you got steak sauce?"
Steak sauce is the worst.
I do love A1 sauce. though.
I love
don't know
A1
what
sauce.
It's not. I don't want to offend anybody who's like a steak
Hey.
lover, but A1 is just a delicious sauce. It's great.
I'm trash. I eat steak with ketchup.
Ooh,
Wow.
okay,
I don't
okay.
care, like-
she said, I'm trash.
I don't care. That shit good to me.
Okay. What's the last thing that you binged?
Dexter.
Oh,
First time?
First
I haven't
time.
gotten
Oh
Dexter yet.
dang!
Started 3 weeks ago. I'm on season 6.
It gets weird at the end. Spoiler alert.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's the fucking show came out.
I know.
Yeah.
I just started watching Entourage again.
Mm.
What is something that you picked up during COVID? A COVID pickup.
A COVID pickup. Meditation.
Nice.
Dang. What's something you're trying to pick up that you haven't started yet?
Ooh. Rollerblading.
Rollerblading.
Yeah.
Retro fun.
What is a piece of content that you would recommend? Whether that's a book, a movie, a podcast, a documentary.
One Strange Rock.
One Strange Rock.
It's a documentary about the
Okay.
Earth.
Oh yeah. I saw
Watch that on
something about
shrooms. It'd be great.
On
Watch it
shrooms.
on shrooms. That sounds great.
Where is that? Is
Trust
that a
me.
Hulu? Is that where's that on?
Oh, Shrooms is a
Can
psychedelic
I find Shrooms on Hulu? Amazon? Okay.
I got you.
One Strange Rock. Okay, there it is.
What is your favorite TV show of all time?
My favorite TV show of all time. Ooh, that's hard. I watch a lot, but right now, Euphoria is amazing.
I heard Euphoria's dope.
No spoilers on that.
I
Zendaya,
know.
right? Zendaya's
Euphoria,
in there.
but Snowfall.
Oh, is that a FX?
Snowfall is my shit.
What is
Yeah.
that about?
Drugs.
It's kind of like a Narcos kind
Yes.
of thing. Okay.
It's how
Okay.
it's how
I'll
like
look into that.
it's how crack like really got popping like in the 80s and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm super a crack fan.
I'm a big fan of
huge
crack.
fan.
No, it's so
Big crack
interesting.
guy.
Like that yeah, it's interesting. It's I love it.
Okay.
Outside of Vietnamese cuisine, what's your favorite?
Japanese.
Nice. What's your guilty pleasure?
In what?
Ooh, I don't know.
She
You
gave us the
let
eyebrows
us
when she
know
asked,
in
yeah.
what.
In what?
Like let's say in your free time, like what are you doing? Like that no one would know about.
no one would know about. I don't know.
Okay, guilty pleasure food.
Guilty pleasure food. I love street meat.
Street meat. Oh, okay, yeah.
Any
yeah,
type
yeah.
of street meat.
Okay.
If it's a meat on the street, I give it to me.
Okay, cool.
Guilty pleasure, music or artist.
Jazz. I love jazz.
How is that guilty?
I don't know. I don't know. People just I don't know.
That's just pleasure.
It's
yes,
just good-
you're right. It's just pleasure, but like I feel like people just don't think I listen to jazz. So I'm like, I guess.
Yeah, you wouldn't have struck me as a
I
jazz
love
person.
going to jazz clubs.
Same.
I went to a jazz club recently in Dubai. I like have to go to a jazz club to every new city that I go to.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. Props on that one. Who is your biggest inspiration?
Anthony Bourdain.
Ooh, I should have known.
I almost thought she was gonna say Lee, but I didn't know she was strong.
If you could make something go away, what would it be?
Depression.
Well, that's a very
Nice.
broad blanket, but
Nice.
yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I would have said mosquitoes, but if you could make something come back, what would it be?
Ooh.
Come back.
Yeah, and it can't be Anthony Bourdain.
Ooh, dang. Come back. Dang. I don't have an answer for that.
Okay, so whatever.
What about you guys? Let me know, and then like maybe I'll get inspiration from
Oh,
it.
what could we bring back?
Bring back.
Shoot, I never think of the answers. To
I
the
never
questions
think
that
of
we
the
ask.
answers.
Like, I don't know why I came up with this
But because I
question.
say Anthony Bourdain, now I'm thinking about people, so my mind goes to Bruce Lee.
Ooh,
We
that's
can bring him
good,
back
that's
for the Asians out here.
Yeah.
That'd be fresh.
I guess I'll say Obama.
Oh.
there it is.
Okay.
I mean,
It was
it's
a
a lot,
it was a
but
great
yeah.
time.
Yeah,
it was a great
just
era.
as our prez.
Yeah, like it was just a great era, you know?
You know what? If I would bring back, not that it's disappeared, is like Super Nintendo, like being like the gaming system. That in my opinion, Super Nintendo. Now I'm dating myself again. I'm the old guy, but
do you even
feel-
have a PS5? I have one upstairs,
See,
and it's sick.
That's why I'm a boomer, dude. When I look at like PS5, I'm so intimidated. I'm like, I don't even want to start.
Wow.
playing.
It's
I
got
don't
like
even
the
know how to-
same amount of buttons almost. It's the same
Dude,
thing.
but
All right, anyway,
Super Nintendo has so many good
it's really
games.
not about our round.
It's
though.
not.
It's
It's
her
not.
lightning round.
Exactly.
She flipped
Yeah.
the script on us.
Obama.
There
Bringing
it
back
is.
Obama. Okay. What is one piece of advice you would give to the world?
To the world.
Yes.
She's
one
like,
piece
fish
of advice.
sauce.
Fish
Add
sauce
fish
on
sauce to all
everything.
your food. Nah. Be yourself.
Mm.
Love yourself. Actually, like being yourself.
Ooh, yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially the evolution of it. The be
Mhm.
yourself, no, love it, like being yourself.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
very good.
Mm.
I see that.
You know, I love that because love is also like you can love somebody where you're like, oh, I just can't, but I love you.
Yep.
But you could dislike somebody while you love them.
Right.
Yeah.
Liking is like, wow, I enjoy it. Like I
Yes.
the presence of this thing is something I enjoy.
Yep.
So that's like, yeah, that's even a more yeah, I get it. There's more depth.
Yeah,
to
like
that.
you can
That's
love
dope.
somebody, but you need that distance.
Right. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
But
I
it's
look at
like-
Nina sometimes. You know, you say I love you every day. Sometimes I don't like you right now. I could see it in her eyes.
Aw,
That's
that's
cute.
cute.
That's
I love
You need to
that.
take that sound bite and make sure
Yeah.
Nina.
That's so
Don't tell her this shit.
cute.
Don't tell her this shit, dude.
Aw.
This is for the fans. She don't even subscribe.
Dang, what's up, Nina?
She's blocked.
It's not our lightning round. It's about her. It's
Exactly. Okay, lightning round done. So less of, more of. What is something that you would love to see less of, and then also more of in the world?
Ooh, less of like the cool guy shit. Less of like trying to like put on this facade of like I'm cool. Look at me, but like you're not really cool. and then more of like just genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like just
So it's like less acting like you're cool, more just be real and be cool that way.
yeah,
Okay.
just that.
Yeah. That's good stuff. Good
That
stuff.
is good.
We like the concept of mastery. Like, what does it mean to master something?
Speaking of Bruce,
And Bruce Lee once said, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. What is it that you feel that you have mastered in your life?
I have mastered the art of not being afraid to fail.
Mm,
That's it.
mm.
I think a lot of people are scared to fail, and that's why they don't try. And that's why it takes them so long to actually do something that they like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Tway, man, it's been a pleasure chopping it up with you and
Chopped.
Oof.
it up. Good one. This
I
guy.
can't. It's like Tourette's for me.
He's
you know?
here all day.
It doesn't matter if it's a dad joke or really lame.
It's
just
good.
comes
It
out.
always hits though. That's why
Yeah.
it's great.
Good job. Good job.
But Tway, like, yeah, it's crazy that to me that you're so young and you're so like far along, so focused. You've accomplished so much, and you're just getting started, or maybe not, because you're supposed to retire in 7 years. So like,
This is only the beginning.
This
What
is-
you
yeah,
talking about?
I think what he's trying to say is, regardless of age, I personally am very inspired by your journey, and I'm like, I respect what you're doing, the way that you're doing it. I'm very honored to have you here, and super excited to see, since you are at the beginning of your journey, where it's all gonna go, and continue to support you throughout.
Aw, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it.
And yeah, I think you're inspiring a whole generation, younger and older. You know what I mean? Like I had no idea how old you were. I'm like, oh shoot, like
You know what's really crazy? My yearbook, my high school yearbook quote is "Aspire to inspire."
Inspire to inspire.
Yeah.
you're doing it. You're doing it.
Yeah.
Where can people follow the journey? Plug all the things.
I mean, you can find more of me on all social platforms at Twaydabae.
We'll plug that.
First
in the
name
description.
Tway, last name Dabae.
That's it.
So good.
I love it. Yeah, we'll plug all that in the show notes and in the description. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. If you are finding this episode entertaining, inspiring, we have a whole bunch of other episodes from season 1, and we are in our 2nd season. So thank you for following the journey, and follow us on our socials: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, if people are still on, or is it called Meta? It's called Meta now.
It's technically Facebook
Is it still-
by Meta.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Facebook
actual
by
app is
Meta.
Facebook, whatever.
Kinjaz Podcast, cast with the K. If you're really digging us, leave us that 5-star rating, write us a review, let us know what you're digging, who you would want us to bring on for future episodes, all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you for rocking with us, and we'll see you guys.
Peace.
Peace out.
Kinjaz Bang.
Kinjaz Bang.